Okay. So first, in which column that employee, that CTC is there? EMP data, right? Let me open that Excel for our reference. Okay, so it is there in I, right? So I50 is the maximum range, I51 is the maximum range. So range is from I2 to I51. Okay, so now how do we do that? Set OXL equals to create object of Excel dot application, then set O workbook equals to OXL dot workbooks dot open, give file path. Okay, so during we have to update this file path. Okay, you can't give blank. Then set O sheet equals to, so workbook dot worksheets of specific sheet. Okay, then set O CTC range equals to, I'm just giving the range. Okay, you can give any day, yesterday or day for yesterday we have used O range there, but it's not like we just given that name, but it doesn't mean that same name has to be used everywhere. You can give any name for that object. OCTC range equals to O sheet dot range. Okay, so we use range object. Then what is the range for us? I to starting range, it is I51. So this is what our range is. Now I want to get the average from it. How do you count the average? So we have seen that function also. But to get the average, then you should not directly work with the workbook. And in the Excel application, we have certain functions available like average, minimum, maximum. All those are the Excel functions. So we need to utilize that function. Okay. So when I'm writing the average, see, when you are writing the function here in the formula bar, generally what we do is, even when you write, see, average function, average is a function, and you must have to provide the range there. Okay, you must have to provide the range. Then in that case, what I need to do is, int average equals to OXL. So formulas can be retrieved from application directly. OXL dot worksheet function, we call it as worksheet function. So by using worksheet function method, we can access all the aggregate functions whatever we have inside the Excel application. Average is one of the aggregate, minimum, maximum, sum, all those are the aggregate functions which we have inside the Excel. To access all those functions, you must have to say that Excel application dot worksheet function dot average. Okay, worksheet function dot average. Then give the range here, OCTC range. So OCTC range. So that gives the range. Okay. No, sorry, that gives the average. Say int average. Then OWB dot close and OXL dot quit. I'm just closing it once I get the average. Then str file path equals to, you must have to provide the path of the file, right? So then what I'm doing here, I'm just giving the path of the Excel. What is that? EMP data. Keep that. Okay. Then what to do here? Where is that scripting, right? Am I using message box? I think I have not saved it. So this is the average salary. How much it is? 6,83,000 is the average salary of my organization. Okay, fine. Next, what I need to do is, probably this time I don't want the average of all the employees, not all the employees. What I need here, probably I want the employee average of all probably engineering employees. I want the average of all the engineering employees. You got what I'm saying here? Then how do we get that? So what should we do now first? You have to give a range for the average function. But I can't give a particular range here because it's not in a row. All engineering employees, and one employee is in one row, another employee is in another row, another employee is in another row, like that. So they are in different rows. How do we do that? Then what we need to do here is loop it from first row to last row, or second row to last row in fact, and get the subunit of each employee first. Getting what I'm saying? Get the subunit. If the subunit is returned as engineering, then go to the CTC column, maybe I column, okay, and don't take the average, take this value, just paste here. I mean, all those salaries should be pasted in. So to get the range again, take that. So based on number of employees order, has to be pasted it in a different, written in a sheet and in rows. Okay, now let's say for example, I have this employee as an engineering guy and should be pasted in the first row. This guy is as an engineering guy, should be pasted here. This guy is an engineering guy, should be pasted here. So now assume that I have got 3 engineering employees. So range should be automatically taken from A1 to A3. Right? In the new sheet. If I have 10, then A1 to A10 range should be. So it has to automatically take the data from that cell, CTC cell, and should be written in different sheet. Row number has to be increased. When we are writing in a different sheet, in the second sheet, row number should be started from 1. After writing first one, second one should be automatically placed in second row, third row, like that. Okay? Then let us implement this logic. Let's delete this sheet also. I don't want this. Okay, so let it be. Now, same thing here, do it. Till here, this is common. First, you understand the requirement clearly. Okay, so if you can't understand the requirement, you can't understand the script also. Always script is related to requirement only, right? So if you can understand the requirement, then only you can understand better. Otherwise, if without understanding the requirement, even though you go through the script, you really can't understand. How good you are in scripting, no matter, when you can't understand the requirement, you can't understand the script. Always that is a base point that you need to remember. Okay, you got the requirement, right? Okay, so now I got the first sheet. First sheet is nothing but the employees, that whatever I have. Or let me give one more thing. So I will give as sheet 1. I'll give as sheet 1. Okay. Total rows equals to, how do I get number of rows? O sheet dot, whatever the sheet that we are getting, O sheet dot, user range, rows dot count. Before that, set O new sheet equals to O workbook dot worksheets dot add. Worksheets dot add. That's how you create a new sheet, because the salary has to be copied to new sheet, right? So I'm not creating manually, script itself should create. Then finding average, loop it from for r number equals to 2 to, instead of I am just using r number, that's it. So you can use any counter variable name there. Then get, what is that, subunit, right? Subunit name, get subunit name equals to osheet dot cells of, where the subunit is stored, in which column? It's in F, that means 6, right? 6th column it is. What I am doing there? Second row, 6th column, third row, 6th column, fourth row, 6th column. Why I am giving 6th column? Because I need to get the salary by subunit, right? So I have to get the value from 6th column only from each employee to find out. That's for finding out the subunit. But that's, again, we are hard coding the column number there. That should not be done. I will tell you why. Okay, so after this I'll come to that logic. We were using for I equals to 1 to 2 like that, right? Instead of I, I'm just using. You can use any variable name there. The standard is we use equals I equals to 1 to 2, 1 to 10, counter variable we use, right? Instead of I, I'm just written it as a different variable name, that's it. You can use any variable name. It's not like I, J, K we have used. Now, those are just industry standards, I mean the programming standards. So you can still say, for example, when I have 20 loops created, for all the loops I can't use I, right? So that you can, I'm just naming the variable name like that. Okay, so what's your question? This one, subunit. Okay, see here what my requirement is, I just want to count the average salary of engineering students, right? But sorry, engineering employees. Then engineering is nothing but a subunit there, right? So what I have to do is first, okay, to get the average of them, first I need to take the salaries of all the engineering. So the salaries, okay, if the engineering guys are placed in, in a row, in a serial, then okay, I can take from this range to this range. But here, those guys are not placed in a serial, right? So those guys are placed one row, first row, third row, fifth row, somewhere under they are placed. So in different rows, those guys have been placed. So what I need to do is, first I need to find out where and all those engineering guys have been placed, and I need to take, as soon as I get an engineering employee, go to salary and take it. So what I am doing here, same thing I am doing. From second row, you know, right, why I'm starting from second row, then why loop is being started from second row? Because first row is for column header, I don't need to consider that. So why I'm giving 6 here? Because subunit is there in 6th column. So every time I have to get the value from 6th column only to get the subunit, right? So what it will be first time? It will take this subunit, 6th column, second row, 6th column, second row, 3rd column, second row, 5th, 6th column, sorry, anywhere 6th columns, first row, second row, 6th column, 3rd row, 6th column, 4th row, 6th column, like that. Only 6th column I need to get. Okay, so now as soon as I get engineering here, it has to go to the which row? 6, 7, 8, 9th row this is. So move to the 9th column. Move to the 9th column in the same row and take the value from it. That's what we need. Then what I have to do is, if UCase of subunit name equal to engineering, okay, so or instead of hard coding, you place that in a variable, your expected subunit, paste it in a variable, and then you can just give us expected subunit, something like that you can store. Then int CTC equals to O sheet dot cells of R number only, row number remain R num, because in the same row I want, comma 9 dot value, right? Then this int CTC should be written in next row, right? Next sheet, whatever is created here. O sheet dot cells of, if I give 1 comma 1, first row first column, every time for every engineering student it will be placed in for every engineering employee it will be placed in first row first column only. So that means it will be keep overwriting, because it will be pasting in the same cell. But I want to move into this next row and all, right, every time. So what I will do is, instead of directly giving as 1 here, I'll say like this. Start row equals to, initially I will give as 0, plus 1. Yeah. In CTC, what I am doing here? What is that R num there? In which row where we are, right? Comma 9 means ninth column. What is the ninth column there? CTC column. So I am taking the CTC value from the same row wherever the engineering, and I am just placing it in CTC. That's it. And here start row is nothing but, I mean, in the next sheet wherever I am pasting, from which row, in which row I have to paste that CTC, how to copy. So by default it has to paste it in first row, then second time it has to move to second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, like that. Number of times that engineering student have come, it has to keep pasting it in next row. Then for that, instead of directly hard coding the value, what I have done is, okay, initial value of start row is 0. As soon as it is find, what it does, start row by default 0, 0 plus 1. So 1 will be passed here, 1 comma 1. So next time start row will be 1 already, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1. Like that, row number will be keep increasing in the destination. You will understand that. Wait for a while. Dot value equals to, so whatever CTC I am copying in O sheet. What is the O sheet here? O sheet is nothing but sheet 1 where the employee data has been placed. What is the only sheet here? The sheet which we have added. So first time it will be start row 0, right? Beginning, in the beginning start row is 0. But before we are using start row here, I am increasing the value. So what will be the start row now? 1 comma 1 first time. So next time when engineering student matches, start row is already 1. So start row will become as 2, 2 comma 1. It will paste it in second row. Third time when it matches 2 comma 1, start row will become as 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 5. Automatically it will increase, and I am pasting here. Next. So this loop will be completed till the last row. Nowhere you have to use exit for, because I have to look for all the rows here. Next, what I need to do? I need to get the average now. All the sheets have been copied to here. Next, set OCTC range equals to O new sheet dot range of A1 O new sheet dot range of A1 comma A based on number of rows. Start row represents how many rows it has pasted, right? Start row represents it. Okay, so what I am doing is here, because the maximum I don't know how many. If only one engineering employee is there, what will be the start row? 1 only. If only one engineering student there, so range will be A1 to A1. If 5 engineering employees are there, then start row will become as 5 automatically. So A1 to A5. If 10 engineering employees are there, start row will become as 10, because every time it is increasing. So A1 to A10. So that range should be based on the number of employees found. So automatically that range will be set there. Okay, so we'll go line by line and see. Int average equals to O new sheet dot, sorry, not O sheet, O Excel. Aggregate function we have to use, right? Function O Excel dot worksheet function dot average of OCTC range. Workbook dot, say I'll save it and close it and what is it? Finding average. It is 6,68,461 is the average salary of that. Let us see whether it is right or not. So there are a lot of engineering students are there here. Total 26 engineering guys are there, and let us see. So there are a lot of guys are there, right? This count is being displayed here. This count is being displayed in the total 26 are there. So 26 engineering students have been copied there, and let us see whether the average is same or not. Is this what we have? Got it. That's how you count the average of particular. Same thing now. If I give what and all the others are there, subunit. Let's take one more. IT. Take IT. Let us see IT, guys. So 7,76,000. Let us see. More sheet. Total 5 guys are there. 7,76,000 is the average salary. Let's understand the logic now. How exactly that works. Let's take one by one here. Step. I think you have got till here. What I am doing. So I'm just opening the Excel workbook, and I'm selecting sheet 1. Why I'm selecting sheet 1 here? Because employees are, the data is stored in sheet 1. So I'm selecting the sheet 1 here, and I'm adding a new workbook. Why I'm adding? Because all the CTC have to be copied to a different sheet so that I can get the average count range. So now what I'm doing here, I'm getting the row count. Why I'm getting row count from sheet 1? Because I need to find out how many employees are there in the sheet. Then start row, what I'm just using one more variable called start row here. Just what is the default value? 0. Okay, keep that with you. So just understand default value is given as 0 initially. Now understand this loop. So this is the key loop for us. Is a loop you need to understand. Now 2 to total rows. You know why I'm looping from second row to last row? Because first row for column header, so second row to the last employee I need to execute. Then here what I'm doing I'm taking the subunit there, because sixth column contains the subunit. So I'm getting the subunit, and based on which subunit average that you need to count, then okay, you pass here, right? Then okay, so if the subunit whatever I'm getting from 1 by 1 row is matching with my expected, go to the same row. So what, from which row I have taken the subunit, go to take the same row number here, and but this time go to the 9th column. Why I am going to the 9th column? Because CTC is there in the 9th column. So till here you got. Now, so maybe there could be some confusion here. What I am doing with the start row? Why I am giving start row plus 1 there? That's a question. Okay, so when I am pasting it in a different sheet, how I have to paste? Okay, first employee, first engineering guy should be pasted it in first row. Second one should be pasted in second row, third row, like that. So the row number has to be increased in the new sheet while pasting. 1 by 1 row I need to paste. So instead of, if I hardcode the row number there directly, every time it will paste it in the, for all the employees it will paste in the same row. First employee will be in the first row. Second employee's salary also will be pasted in first row, and it will overwrite every time. Don't want that. So in this case, what I need to do is I need to increase the row number. That's the reason I am passing through a variable. What is the default value of start row? 0. So first IT employee has come. First IT guy has come. So for first IT guy, what will be the start row? When first time it condition matches 0 plus 1, start row will become as 1. Then 1 comma 1 it will become. So it will paste it in first row. Then go back. It will go to the another employee. Then check if he is IT guy. Then second IT guy we have got. Then take the salary of second IT guy. I mean whoever matched with that. Then start row will be now. In previous one, start row has become as 1, right? Now it will be 1 plus 1. So start row will become as 2 comma 1. So in the second row, it will paste. Go back. Third guy is may not be IT, may be different. So condition will not be satisfied. So start row remain 2 only. Then fourth one also not matching. Fifth one also not matching. Then sixth one is matching. Then it will come inside the statement. What is the start row now? There are 2 already, but it will be 2 plus 1. So number of times that IT is matched, number of that many times that start row will be increased. So now, if assume that there are 5 IT guys have come, so start row will become as 5 at the end, right? 5 times IT is matched, so start row will become as 5. So now 5 rows have been created in the new sheet, right? So how my range should be? Should start from 1 because I pasted from first row, but where that range should be enclosed at 5th row in the 8th column only. So that's the reason what I am doing here. Start range I have directly given as A1, but end range I don't know, because employee to subunit to subunit the range is changing. So that's the reason what I am doing is take the 8th column only, but end is nothing but start row. If start row contains 5, it will become as A5. If start row contains as 10, then it will become as A10. If there are 26 engineering students were there, right? So engineering employees were there. So start row will become as 26 at the end. For better naming convention, instead of using start row, say use row count. That's it. So this will be number of rows. Now what we are doing, we are taking this range, from this range we are counting the average. So this is how generally you can count the average of a specific I've just given the employee here, but it's not employee all the time, but whatever the data it is, okay, whenever you want to count the average or minimum. Now I want to get the maximum salary of the person, any of the person, maximum salary of the person in engineering only. Then what you do, instead of average you give as max. Instead of, if you want to get minimum, who is getting minimum, then give the minimum salary instead of average. So if you want to get the total salary I am paying for engineering employees, then just give the sum there, sum of O range. It will count the, it will give the sum. So like this you can use some aggregate functions in the Excel when required. Okay, now my second requirement is here. I want to, okay, the person whoever is getting salary more than 10 lakhs, all those persons should be highlighted in red. All those persons should be highlighted in red. Got what I am saying? So how do we do that now? I don't need to create a new sheet, because in the same sheet, in the that row has to be highlighted with red font. Yes. You can still do that. What you do is, you can take that into a variable. I mean, each CTC take into an array. From an array you can get the average. That I will show. Just okay, let it be for now. We can use another function for that, but for now we are working with Excel, right? So let it be with Excel. I just, what the intention here is, try to utilize all the features with the Excel. Okay, but another way, without creating new sheet, what you can do is take the salary of each and every engineering employee, or if you want for all the employees, take into array one by one. Then okay, from the array values you can get the average. So if we have certain some another functions or some other logics available for that, but let it be for a while. Okay, so that is possible, you can do that, but one more logic that you need to write for that, I am not writing for now. Okay, so now what I have to do, for the person whoever is getting the salary of more than 10 lakhs, then that has to be, the person has to be highlighted in red. Then for I is equals to 2 to total rows. I is equals to 2 to total rows. Second row to last row. In CTC equals to, CTC equals to Posheet dot cells of I comma 9 dot value. CTC is there in 9th column, right? If in CTC is greater than, right, 10 lakhs. Ten lakhs only, right? Or is it 1 lakh? Not 10 lakhs. In cities is greater than 10 lakhs. Set orange equals to Posheet dot range of AI2. If fifth row has got more than 10 lakhs, it has to be A5 to, what is the range it will come? What is the last column? Assume this guy has got more than 10 lakhs, right? It's 12 lakhs, 80,000 is his salary. So A9 to I9 is the range, the entire range, A9 to I9. So give like this, AI2 I represents the row number. So A to I is the range, column range. say orange dot background. How do you do? Interior dot color equals to VB red. Maybe I have to change, make it as bold also, font as bold. Then say orange dot font dot bold equals to true. And I don't want to say, yeah. What is that? You can do it. I didn't get your question actually. What? Dynamically, yeah? Okay. No, you can't do it. You can't do it in one line. I mean, everything one by one you have to make. In one action, see, let's just do it manually. Okay. So when I want to change the background color, I need to use one feature, right? Right? Feature is different here. And when I want to change the font color, it's a different feature. When I want to make it as bold, then it's a different feature. Each feature is different here. You can't access all the features in one line.
But they will be starting with the meaning.
Sorry?
Starting the meaning.
See, that is there. In HTML is there. But in Excel, each one is a different. But in HTML, you can give the attributes, different attributes. Right? But here we don't give attributes and all in the Excel. We have to access that feature of Excel and then we have to use that feature. So since each one has got one feature, like bold is one feature, italic is one feature, changing the font is one feature, font color, font size is one feature. So each feature has to be accessed individually, not in the same line. Okay, so you can't make everything in one line. Fine. OXL dot visible equals to true. I will just make it as visible equals to true so that you can observe. What is that? Finding average. One minute. No, this is different. Did I close it? What is the file name I have given? I didn't save, is it? Okay, sorry. Fine. For I equals to 2 to total rows. Fine. O sheet dot cells of I comma 9 dot value int ctc it is. Then if int ctc is greater than 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs only, right? Then you can say set orange equals to OSHI dot range of orange dot font dot bold equals to true, orange dot interior dot color equals to will be red. Okay, so finding rows and highlighting. Okay, just I'm giving that. Can you see? Whoever has got more than 10 lakhs. Okay, so remaining guys have got more than 10 lakhs. Those guys have been highlighted with red one by one. So this is, I mean, a few things that we will get in the real. Generally, whenever we are validating the reporting reports and all, right? So this is how Excel reports and all will be generated. I will get this kind of applications also. Okay. So you have to filter out the data and all. Then okay, this kind of logic that you can write. So what that logic is doing exactly here. Let me open this logic. Looping from second row to last row, I am getting the CTC value. From ninth column, I am getting the CTC value. And if the CTC, okay, if the CTC is greater than 10 lakhs, CTC is greater than 10 lakhs, then just take that range. You know why I am giving this? This is what you need to understand here. AI to I. So because that column range is from A to I actually. So when I want to highlight, it has to be from 8th column to 8th column, but on not all the rows it has to highlight, right? Only that particular row. So I represents the row number. So when if 5th column is matched, sorry, 5th row is matched A5 to I5. So that column, that entire row till 8th column will be selected, and only for that, but till that column it will change the background color, or it will change the bold or whatever the style that you use. Okay? Yeah, see, okay. What's happening? Just understand this loop. What I am doing here? To detail. So what is that I here? What I is representing? Rows. It's representing the row here. I represents the row here. Then what this does exactly? OC dot cells of I comma 9. What does it mean? From specific row, get the data from 9th column. Why 9th column? CTC. Then what I am doing here? CTC is about 10 lakhs. What is my requirement? What's my requirement here? I need to highlight that entire row, not entire row. When I say entire row, even these columns and all will come in entire row, all these columns, but I don't want entire row because that looks very odd after that. So till here only, till 8th column only, that row has to be highlighted. So I have to select the range. If I want to set till 8th column in this row, I have to set the range from here to this. So what is that range now? A13 to I13. Why I am setting A13 to I13? Because in 13th row it has got more than 10 lakhs, right? And here also. First it has come here. 9th row it has come. So when I want to make this as red, range should be from A9 to I9. For this, A10 to I10. A13 to I13. Like that range has to be. It's not entire row. If you say entire row can be in red, then you don't need to give that entire row. You can say wherever cell is found, that cells dot entire row dot bold, font dot bold, entire row dot interior dot color equals to VB red, like that you can give. But entire row looks very odd, because when I say entire row will be selected, and even this whatever is there, all these columns will be highlighted with red. I don't want that. So that is the reason what I am saying is, in that row wherever it is found, from 8th column to 8th column. So if 9th row is found, range will be set as A9 to I9. If 10th row is found, then A10 to I10. So only till 8th column in each row it selects the range. Then for that range I am changing the background color. That's it. Okay? Well, now, sorry? Which one?
Excel sheet was case sensitive.
It's not case sensitive. It's not case sensitive. You can give it just okay. So it's not. But it's a standard too. You see here, I have used a small I. It's not case sensitive. So you can give in any case, no problem. But as per the standard, usually we use uppercase, that's it. Just a standard. Okay, now my next requirement is here. Okay, so in the same requirement, let us do one thing. After some point of time, what happened is, what happened now? I am introducing, I have created one more column here. You got what I am saying here? Now I created one extra column. If I execute the script, will it work? If I execute this script, will it work? No. Won't work. You know the reason? Now, okay, so I am retrieving from 9th column, right? Why I am retrieving from 9th column? Because CTC was placed in 9th column. But since I created one more column now, CTC has moved to 10th column. Right? So that script will not work now. It will get different data, not the CTC data. But what I have done is quite common everywhere. Can you give guarantee that the same cells will be there every time? Cells names will be same, column headers will be same, but people may introduce one more column in between, or people may remove one more column in between. Now in this cell, okay, I have created one more column, and sometimes what happens is, instead of creating a column, what people do is, people may delete employment status column. If I delete employment status column, again column number will be changing. So the column numbers are not dynamic, but column names are static. Column names are static and numbers are dynamic always. So that is the reason, in case if you directly hardcode the column numbers there, what happens is, then okay, if there is any change, if new column is introduced, or if any column is deleted, then that will be again its script will retrieve the wrong data, so your script will fail at the end. It's a logical mistake. So what I have to do is, I just have to provide the column name, but I can't provide the column name directly, or column number directly. So what my script should do is, but when I am retrieving the value here, it has to be column number. For cells, I can't say column name there directly, so it has to be row number comma column number, that is the input. But when I provide the column name to the script, my script should automatically fetch the column number. My script should understand automatically in which column that particular, what is the number for that particular column. When I provide CTC, then what is the number given for CTC column? Or when I provide a subunit, what is the number given for subunit column? Or when I give employee name, what is the number given for employee name? Like that. So when I provide the name of the column, then the script should automatically retrieve the column number. Got what I am saying? But you don't have any direct method in the VB script to fetch the column number automatically by name. So you must have to write certain logic for that. Then what is the logic that needs to be written here? Any guess? I don't want any methods or anything, just logic. If same thing comes to you, don't think about VB script. When you're thinking about logic, just don't think about VB script. Think very generic way. Now same requirement is given to you, and I want to get the column number for job title. What could be your logic? Remember, I don't have a direct method to get the number directly, column number. You can tell, no problem. You can also tell. What is the logic? No search. No search operation can be performed. Huh? Compare? Incremental. your intention is right, but the way explaining right should be little different. Okay. Hmm? So columns we need to take here. First column to last column. You said is incremental, right? Yeah. Okay. Not up to probably, okay, so sometimes job title might not be there also. It has to give failure that time, right? So what it has to be is incremental, fine, that is right. But till where? Incremental means looping, you said looping. Till where it has to loop? First column to last column. How many columns are there? First column to last column it has to loop. Assume there are 10 columns now. Say first column to 10th column. Get the name of each and every column. How can you get the name of the column? First row obviously represents the column name, right? Then you can say 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 4. So first row, first column, first row, second column, third column. That's how you retrieve the names of each and every column. Then take your expected column into a variable, or you can directly provide inside the conditional statement. Then whatever the value you are retrieving inside the loop from each column from first row, compare with your expected column. If any of the value is matching with your expected column, that is a column number that I want to get. You got the logic? Okay, so now same thing what we need to do here. Finding and highlighting. So this I don't want to add into new sheet, right? Why should I add into the new sheet? Okay, so total columns equals to O sheet dot user range dot columns dot count. What this does? Get the row number to column number, right? So for to get total number of columns used in the Excel. For CNUM equals to 1 to total columns. Get column name equals to O sheet dot. You know why I'm giving 1 there? Because row number is 1. Why I'm giving 1? Because column name is there in first row only, right? That is a standard. So column name is there in first row, so I have to get from first row, first column, first row, second column, third column, like that. Every time I have to get only from first row. Dot value. If get column name equals to, in this case, CTC. Okay, but this has to be stored in a variable because I'm not, column name may be different. I mean, not only for CTC every time. Tomorrow my requirement changes. I want to get the job title or some other, right? So we have to do that also. So get, sorry? Which one? This one, huh? Yeah, we need to define before, but I'm just hard coding here. We will change it. Okay, so we will change it. If get column name is CTC, then int column number equals to, you know what I'm doing? In which column it is found? What is that CNUM? CNUM represents the column number, right? Okay, 1 comma 1. It will get first row, first column. CNUM is 1 first time. So if the first column itself CTC, CNUM will be 1, right? I'm taking that CNUM into this variable. I will tell you why I'm taking into a variable. What is the default value I'm giving for C column num? 0. Any guess why I'm using that? In case none of the column has got CTC as name, this will never be executed inside, right? It will not come inside the condition. If no column has got CTC, now in Excel it has got, but sometimes user may provide a wrong column name. So in such cases, it has to give, my script should give me saying that, okay, so you have given so and so column, but that column is not found in the sheet. You can also give true or false. There are various ways. You can use a flag variable there, and default value of flag variable set as false, and if the column is found, set the flag variable value to true. After the loop, verify what is the current value of the flag variable. That is also can be done. So here also this is another way. Now by default value of int column number is 0, and in case if any of the column is found, int column number will be updated with some number. If the int column number is not updated with some number, if it remains 0, that means this condition never satisfied. What does it mean? That condition doesn't satisfy, or that condition is not satisfied means no column has got SCTC, right? Then this is how generally you write them. You know why I'm using exit for here? Because once I get my column, I don't need to move to the next column. Just stop the loop. Now let's say I have 10 columns. Then if I give job title, where? No, exit for end if should be here only. Because when loop has to be stopped, only on this condition, right? Loop has to be stopped only on that condition. Only when I get the column, then only it has to stop. Okay? Confusing?
So if
Okay.
CTC
I'll tell
is
you.
remove columns,
It will take only the first occurrence. I'm taking only the first occurrence here. Okay? So wait, I will get there. I will explain you again. If int column number is 0, if int column number is 0, what does it mean? No column is found. Message box, no column found with given name. Then what should I do? If column is not found, can I continue with the remaining line? I can't do it. To stop the VB script, we use something called wscript.quit. What does it mean? Quit from VB script execution. Don't execute remaining lines. Or one more way you can do it. If column is not found, give me a message box. Else you know what I'm doing there? In case if the column number is 0, then just give me a message box. Don't execute this logic. This logic should be executed only when int column number is more than 0. Maybe 1, 2, 3 like that, then only. Now instead of 9 here, what you do? We need to do one more update. Any guess? Where? No, this is right. We have done here. Just where? Range here. Earlier? Okay, so it is I, right? I. But this time? K. But this also wrong. When I give K, no, it should be J. If I give like this, again, if I remove one more column, or if I delete one more, add one more column, range will be moved further, right? I will explain logic, no problem. So, updating this range, again, is, and I need to keep updating it. So I can't give the range like this, right? Wait for a while. I'll come to that part in some time, okay? How do you get the column name directly, A or B or C, till where it has used? You can get that address. Okay. So now you got that? Okay. So let it be now. Let us see whether it will work or not. And before, then once I execute, after executing, I will explain this logic again. Where is that? Finding and highlighting, right? It's getting CTC only, right? It's giving CTC. Okay, so let me do one thing. Open the Excel again. Column number should be changed, right? Let's see whether it will work or not now. That has to be changed. Wait for a while. We'll see the execution and see. Now it's giving, right? But the range is different. But I have not updated that range. Okay, so we will do one by one. Okay, so what's your question now?
CDC should be executed also, whether it is found or not.
That's what it is doing, right? In case, say for example now, CTS is there. So that's the reason it is taking that. And in case, I will give,
So the CDC execute on the column and CDC number. CDC number only execute.
first it will take from here. It will take from here column number. That column number will be placed here. Without executing that, it won't get the value, right? Okay, so wait, don't ask the question for a while. I will explain logic one more time. Now CTC1 is not there, right? It says that no column found. That particular column is not there, so it won't get the value. And it's working now. Okay. So now let's understand the logic again. Don't get confused and don't look at everything now. Just go line by line and see. Okay. Till here, I don't need to tell. I think you know this. What we are doing. What I'm doing there, I'm just creating Excel application and connecting to sheet 1. That's it. Consider only this now for a while. Variable. So what is the int column number? 0. That is the default value. Just note down that. Forget remaining part what we have written. Take only the selected range. Selected script. What is that script is doing? First row to CNum equals to 1 to total columns. What is meant by total columns there? Look at the 11th line. So number of columns are there. If I have 10 columns, depends on the range which I have used. If 20 columns are used, then the total columns will be 20. 1 to 20 it will become. Or if 9 columns are there, 1 to 9. If 10 columns are used, 1 to 10 it is. So CNum represents the column number here. So 1 to number of columns that I have used. Then get column name equals to osheet dot cells of 1 comma CNum. What does it mean? What is that one there? Row number. So row number will not be changing in that loop. So row number remains 1 only. Why 1? Because it's a column header. Column number header will be only 1. Right? So it will be there in the first row only always. So that's the reason I'm directly giving as 1. To get the column headers, you can give as 1 directly as row number. It won't change. Then CNum. Why I'm using CNum there? Because column is not placed in only one column, right? Column numbers are, I need to loop through each and every column to get. So CNum, first time what will be the CNum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So first time it will be 1 comma 1. From where it will get? 1 minute. It will take this. 1 comma 1 means it will take this. What is our expected column? CTC. As CTC 1 I have given there. What is the int column number default value? Int column number is 0 here. Right? So CNum is 1, int column number is 0. Now, it will take from first to first column. Is it matching? No. So when it is not matching, not satisfied. If I use exit for outside end if, right, what happens? Without that condition, loop will be stopped. But loop should not be stopped now. Only when I get my expected column, then only it has to. But if I use exit for here, what happens? I'm not relating this exit statement with this condition. So exit statement should be related with the condition. So exit for also will not be executed. Then CNUM will become 2, 1 comma 2. What is my column name? CTC1. Is that CTC1? No. Condition is not satisfied. No exit for also will not be executed. And int column number remains 0. So not updated. Third column. CNUM will become 3. So it will take 1 comma 3. So expected column name is CTC1. Not matching. So won't come inside. So these two statements will be executed only when I get my column. So CTC int column number remains 0 only. Move to fourth column. Not matching. Condition is not matching. So int column number remains 0 and fifth one not executed. Int column number remains 0. Sixth column not matching. So int column number remains 0. It's not going inside the condition. Even exit statement also is not being executed. Then location still not matching because expected column name says CTC1. So no exit for int column number also will be remain 0 only, not being updated. Now eighth column still not matching. Ninth column still it is not matching. But this is the maximum number which I have to execute, total number of columns. Loop will be stopped here. Come out of the loop. No, but when that exit for will be executed, should be executed only when I get the column, right? If my column is not found, I have to go to the next column, right? How? If I use else here, it will execute in case if I get. If this condition is satisfied, then only I have to stop the loop, right? If this condition is not being satisfied, how exit for will be executed? It has to come inside, right? When that exit for will be executed now? Tell me. It has to go inside the condition, right? Where I have used exit for? Inside the conditional statement. Okay. No, it won't, right? It won't come. Yes. It won't go. If it will come, 16th line and 17th line will be executed only this condition is satisfied. When that condition will be satisfied only when I get my column. If I don't get my column, it has to move to the next column. It's very simple funda. What is that? If I get my column, don't move to the next column because I got my number. But if I don't get my column, obviously I have to move to the next column. So the condition is used to check whether I got my column or not. If that condition, selected condition is not satisfied, obviously I have to move to the next column. It should not stop. So that's the reason what I am doing is, in case if this condition is satisfied, then only exit. Otherwise don't exit. Right? Now let me do one more thing. I will give job title. This is what I have given now. Okay? So come back again. What is the CNUM? First time 1 comma 1. What is my expected column? Job title. So what it is retrieving? ID. So it will not come inside. From where it will go? It will come here directly. So it will obviously move to the next iteration. What is the CNUM? 2. not matching. So obviously it will come to the end if, and then it will come to the next, and it will go to the CNUM will be 3, not matching still. Then it will move to the next. What is that CNUM now? 4. 1 comma 4. What is the value? Job title. Okay. So now this is being matched. What is that CNUM now? 4, right? So that 4 will be stored in int column number. So now int column number will be updated. Default value is 0. Now CNUM is 4. So CNUM value will be set to int column number because the condition is matched. Then I need to execute exit for, because since I got my expected title, job title, then I don't need to move to the next one. Then it will come here. What is that int column number now? 4, not 0. So this, it will come here and it will execute this. Go line by line, don't look at everything once. Everything as I told. So when you are analyzing the logic, it is taking little time, but let it be, no problem. But you have to understand, this is the base for you. Okay, so if you fail to understand here, then obviously when we move into some more complex on the very difficult, right? So whenever you are analyzing the logic, just simple. How many loops I have written? 2 loops I have, sorry, 1 loop I have written, right? So you have to go loop by loop first. What is the input for that loop? Why the first questions? You have to get the questions. Why that loop? And how many times that loop will be executed? And when the loop will come out, what will be the output of the loop? Positive condition and negative condition. In case, okay, if no condition is satisfied inside, what will be the output? If any condition is satisfied, then what will be the output of the loop? Always you have to question yourself. Then, okay, so go inside the loop. Then how the loop value is incrementing? On what basis? And where I am using incremental variable? What is the base for me to use that incremental variable? Then what is the condition I am using? Then immediately when you look at the condition, you get the question, why that condition is being used? Why that condition is being used there depends on the requirement, right? So you have to get your requirement. The condition is used because I have to get the job title there. Sorry, column number for job title. So that's the reason what I am doing. I am getting the column title from 1 by 1 column. I am comparing with my expected title. Then when the loop will be stopping? That's a question. Loop will be stopped when I get my expected column. Right? Then next immediately, what in case if I don't get my expected column? You have to do that, right? So you have to, because sometimes user may give column number as wrong. So in such cases, tool cannot get the value from that column. It has to give an appropriate report saying that, okay, you have given so and so column, that column is not found. Please check the spelling that you have given, or look at the data sheet, see whether that column is found or not. Appropriate report, so that everybody will be clear why the script is being failed and why the script is being passed. In case if any error is there in the script, I don't want to see the error message directly. What I have to see is, instead of getting the error message, I want to see a user-friendly message saying, yeah, this is what the wrong you have given. In case if the issues with the data, it has to give me saying, okay, you have given wrong data there. If issue is with the file, it has to give me say, okay, this file has got the problem. Or in case if the issue is with the application or with the script, it has to give me appropriate. For that, if you say that, okay, no, I don't want all this, everything will be appropriate, and columns I will give appropriate columns only, and data will not be changed, columns will not be changed, no need to write the logic if everything goes. But in real time, what happens is, requirements will be keep changing, columns will be keep changing, right? And you can't expect the same data every time. You can't expect, because we'll be creating more employees, data will be keep updating every time. So that's the reason we are writing this much logic and all. Okay, so this gives an accurate result every time. If you say that, no, why should I write the logic? fine, one time it will work. If everything is correct, it will work. But if something goes wrong, your script will fail. Again, you need to go and keep updating. Getting? Okay, so next one, whenever you are analyzing the logic, right? Don't look at complete script. How many lines of code we have written? 38 lines of code we have written. Don't look at 38 lines. If you look at all 38 lines, you will get confused. Even for me also, when I look at the complete code, very confusing for me. But how do we analyze? By asking the questions or by getting the questions ourselves. Okay, so now first say, okay, I have used two variables there, row count 0 into column count 0. Then the questions will come there. Why I'm using those extra variables? Why I'm giving 0 there? Why not other value? If you get this question, then obviously you will start tracing those variables, you will get the answer. Then say, I'm getting the row count there, I'm getting the column count there. So questions, why I'm getting that row count, why I'm getting that column count, where I'm utilizing those variables. Without utilization of the variables, we don't initiate them. If I have initiated a variable, that means that I'm using somewhere and there is a purpose, right? So only thing you need to understand is what is the purpose of that variable and where I'm using that. For first 2-3 logics, as I told, your mind is still not yet tuned. I mean, there is a little confusion but mandatory. Okay, so we have to go through like this. Yeah. Sorry? In this case, not required. No. It is required here because what is my requirement? I have to go through each and every employee and get the salary of each employee, right? So I have to use first row to second row to last row, one by one employee. So I am utilizing it. So now get the question, why I am using this loop? I have used it, right? Yeah, okay, here you are asking about, is it? Okay, so this is we have not used, but in previous logic we copied. Okay, so previous logic. Total how many? 4. You got that logic now? So whenever you are doing that, just analyze like that. Okay, so we will stop here today. And tomorrow we will see some more logics. But taking little time, but let it be, okay, because you have to be expertise in writing. Sorry? Where? I will tell that tomorrow because that range, right? You are talking about range. You can get the user range we have, right? User range reference that you can get. We get the user range. From that we get the reference. Like reference will give the address. Say from A to J or A to C. Like that you can get the reference. That you will see tomorrow. As I told, some advanced topics that you need to learn in the Excel.